So the last video today, we're going to discuss something very pragmatic, which is the new testing the waters rules. And what does that mean? Well, on March 15th of 2021, the U.S. Regulation Crowdfunding, this is the governmental rules by which anybody raising capital, early stage capital from the general U.S. public has to follow these rules. Well, they got a big upgrade. Two of the major upgrades. One is that before March 15th, from 2016 until then, there was a cap on how much could be raised, and that cap was $1,070,000. And now the cap has been raised to $5 million, which means that well-organized companies, people with a sufficient budget to market their investment product, can raise really substantial amounts of early stage capital from the general public. This is a huge step forward in the ability for all people, and especially vegans, to directly design the kind of economy we want to have without waiting for permission from Wall Street, from other boomers. I'm going to keep joking about that, I guess. Maybe that'll get boring, but anyway. The other big rule change that there were many, but the other one that's really significant is this thing called testing the waters. So it costs a lot of money to raise money from the general public. I think I've said in previous videos, with Kickstarter, if you go look around, you'll find companies that will charge you $200,000 per million that they'll raise. Now, they're not guaranteeing you the money necessarily. That's just a $200,000 marketing budget if you wanted to raise $1 million in gift crowdfunding. And the numbers, I think there's a certain common reality between that and raising capital, investment capital in the new investment crowdfunding grew out of the gift crowdfunding economy. Kickstarter was founded in 2009, and the investment crowdfunding rules in the United States became effective on May 16, 2016. That's an important day. I went vegan on September 1st, 2016, and as they say, the rest is history. So why do you need to care about this? It's because a vegan entrepreneur on the Vegan Launch platform, now we can use testing the waters basically for free, just to find out if there's enough interest in a deal to warrant the expenditure on marketing. Now, Vegan Launch has another advantage by building a vegan base of investors that lowers the marketing costs, and the more people who register at the Vegan Launch platform for free, the lower the cost of raising capital. But even there is cost, there's compliance costs, and there's time and energy. So these new testing the waters rules allow you to go and just express your interest in a deal. Now, I have raised capital. Oh, why is this so important? It's because I learned how to raise capital from people who raise lots of capital into venture capital funds and things like that. And they do what's called a soft circle commitment, because the legal documents for a venture capital fund in the 2000s were very expensive. It could be $100,000, $200,000. So they didn't write up the securities offer and then see if they could sell it. They first called their friends. That's what investment bankers do. They get on the phone and they say, hey, here's a 3-sentence sketch on this deal. Are you interested? And if so, what's your soft circle commitment? How much would you be willing to put in if we bring this deal together, if we get enough people? And I raised over $100,000 in private offers myself, in private investment offers, testing that theory. I just didn't have a good enough Rolodex of wealthy investors, or I could have raised more in the 2000s. That was really, access to capital is one of the major risk factors for any startup, and that's why Vegan Launch is so dedicated to that. But the technique works. You get people to commit, and then you go back and say, okay, we've got enough to win. Now, there's going to be drop-off. There's a lot of debate about how many people will pledge and how many of those are really going to come through. But basically, it's like any other kind of marketing thing. You test the market in one way, and that test allows you to extract out what's it really going to cost. Now, you get a very accurate count on what's it going to cost to raise the full amount. Based on that accurate total, and that's something you could actually even go to investor with. It's like, well, we're seeing it cost this many dollars of marketing to raise this much money in equity. That's an investable concept right there. So if you're watching this, I urge you to go over to the deals area of the Vegan Launch platform. And look, those are what we're posting now, our first testing the waters offer, and the minimum investment is $100. And to my gratification, the pledges are starting to come in because, I spent the whole 2020 investing in technology and lawyers, and it's like, this thing better work. And I'm very happy to say it's starting to work. And it doesn't cost anything to make an expression of interest. And look, if you don't like the deal, don't express interest. But tomorrow I'm going to do a video on the deal itself. And I love this company. I think it's one of the most profound vegan business strategies I've ever seen. And really, every entrepreneur that comes through the pipeline, they're just profound people. So that's why this matters. So now, even at $100, you get to be part of like a public investment bank. This is really what we're doing. We're doing public investment banking now, just like the big players. We're getting together. We're deciding if we like the deal. If we like the deal, we'll, paper it, as they say, put together the legal docs, and move to a close. And if we can do this as a community effectively, it's going to rock things. It's going to be great. And I just thank you so much for watching, and I'm so happy to be able to share this little bit of information with you. So take care until next time. Be sure to like and subscribe, by the way. We're close to 100 subscribers, and why do I want that? Because then YouTube will give us a custom URL. So go ahead and do that. I don't normally ask, but today's the day to subscribe to this channel if you made it this far. Thanks a lot.